All right, greetings, greetings, dear Sagittarius. That's you over here. I know it looks weird. This is Tarot Illumination with your general broad spectrum report for November 2018. Cards are well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. You know that already. Also, do the routine, do your cross watching for significant others. Even though this is not a love and relationship report, that's a whole other playlist. This is all about you and your journey, okay? Also, since we're here just a few moments, please check out the links below for Tarot Illumination membership and for the First Friday healing events, plus all the other goodies that we do here, okay? You are invited to become a member. It would really help. We've already got a few on board already. Before we get into the cards, let's do something here. Sagittarius, you probably figured out, or maybe you're sensing this is kind of a big deal month for you, because big changes are happening all over the whole planet. One of the biggest ones is affecting Sagittarius directly. I made a note of it here. Jupiter is moving into Sagittarius, okay? It's the beginning of a new one-year journey for you. Jupiter is your ruling planet, and it's in your home turf. Wow, it's kind of a big deal. Anyway, let's get some important dates on the reading here. Let's just do it from straight off from the astrodoodle. Now, you know, this is a Tarot Illumination astrodoodle. It looks like hieroglyphics and nonsense to you, but it makes sense to Tarot Illumination, and I'm sharing it with you. We don't have a lot of fancy, super expensive software here, so we do it all by hand. So here we go. This is for you, Sagittarius. All the action is over here in your first house. You, your physical being, you're the person that you look at in the mirror, the person that people see when they first meet you. What's that like? So let's go through the dates. Okay, first off, November 7th, early in the month, right over here. You might as well mark your calendars, okay? November the 7th. We have a big fat Scorpio new moon over here in your 12th house. So it might be kind of uncomfortable as a lot of light is being shown upon that area of life to do with, you know, sequestration, self-undoing. It's also the connection to heaven, so to speak. And it's a very hard energy for a lot of people to understand or handle, but it's also, you could think of it as the kitchen drawer or the dumpster or the basement of your life too. So it might be uncomfortable when you get so much light shining on those awkward parts of the self, of your being, but you know, it happens for everybody at some point. So please just go with the flow. The next thing on November 7th is Uranus is going retrograde into Aries for a few months. It's kind of a big deal for you. You've already been living through 7 years of it. We've just gone into the Taurus chapter, but it's retro for a few months. And so you might get these action replays of like some very chaotic or unexplicable or miraculous things that happened in true love, creativity, romance, risk-taking, happiness, and fun and self-expression in this part of your life in your 5th house. So please allow for that. Also on the 7th, the North Node moves into Cancer. And so that's going to be over here in your 8th house. Okay, we'll talk about that privately. Okay, keep going. Let's keep going. November the 10th. This is the big one for you. This is the big thing for you. November the 10th, just after the Scorpio new moon, Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. Like, whoa, man, type of energy. Because this is like super powered for you. It's a lot of the Jupiter, the planet of good fortune, benevolence, healing, luck, just adventure, happiness, and greater knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Foreign travel, just going big with everything. It's happening. It's the start of a new one-year journey for you, Sagittarius, so brace yourself, okay? Let's just keep going. November 17th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius, so there might be these kind of hiccups. Please allow for that. You know, tongue and mouth disease, foot and mouth disease, or whatever they call it. So be careful about your speaking and your listening and all communications in general. November 22nd, the next big thing for you, Sag, the sun moves into Sagittarius. So you're getting double duty amplification. That's a lot of power and light onto you, Sagittarius, now. So brace yourself for November. It's going to be a big shift and change for you, all right? Next, on the 23rd, just a little bit later, you've got the full moon Gemini in your 7th house. Uh-oh. Relationships, primary relationships. So there will be a culmination of some kind, okay? That's it. That's the little micro reading for Tarot Illumination from TL Astro Doodles. Let's get to the cards. And if you need to get heavy duty and serious, you know where to come. We do personal readings and all that stuff here. So let's just do the basics. You know the routine also. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and especially if they're all different, and then reinterpret the whole story to suit yourself, okay? Also, in doing this, please invite your invisible friends. I know it sounds kind of corny and ridiculous, but that's what we do here at Tarot Illumination. Just sharing, you know? All right, let's do this. We're going to use this journey spread like this beating heart spread. Think of it that way. And it's all about you at the very core of you. And the whole idea is to get you fully integrated with the heart, from the heart to the heart. So you are as closely aligned with heart energy as possible. You know, all the other chakras are great and everything, but, you know, without the heart sorted out, the rest of it doesn't really matter. You know. So let's go. Let's bless the deck, okay? Bless all the cards, bless the whole reading, bless Tarot Illumination and the whole channel. Please become a member. Bless the equipment and the cameras and all the electricity. Okay, the heart needs what it needs, it wants what it wants. This is what we're talking about right here. How closely are you consciously aligned with your heart energy? Okay, let's have a look. What are you bringing in with you? Legacy energy. Maybe it's all this Scorpio stuff has been very, very heavy for you, cumbersome, hard to handle, very amorphous, especially if it touches on those areas of self-undoing. Okay, over here, the ever-present now. This is where you own your power. I know you Sagittarius like to be there right in the thick of it, like facing front into the adventures of life. But sometimes even for brave, bold Sagittarius, it's tempting to chicken out and lean on the past or project into the future. No matter, we'll handle it, all right? Now, it is in the present where you own all your power. You have to be very grounded, present, conscious, and here. And the way you execute your power is through the healing power of your decisions, first of all, to love thyself, okay? First and foremost. So how do we do that effectively? Okay, so this actually works. So you become optimized. You become your most healthy, happy, efficient, loving self. Then that permeates to your loved ones and out around to the world around you. You'll see in a moment. So how do we do that effectively, given the energy building up here? And in so doing, what sort of consequences are we creating? Now, if you think of yourself as a victim of life and all you're ever doing is reacting to events and people and circumstances, then this might feel like fate. But if you are a co-creator, a participant, then this will feel like you are living your life, making the decisions, and being the steward of your own life, and it feels much better. Over here, what happens if you mess up and you think this is just BS and like life just happens and then you react to it? And that's from the TL perspective, that's kind of like spiritual laziness. So what does that look like? On the other hand, what if you are in the zone, you decide to make the best of your talents, your faculties, all the time that you have, all the love tokens that you have in life? What does that look like? Over here, prospects and momentum. Hope you can see this as a heart shape. Please indulge Tarot Illumination, and that let's get this glowing and radiant and golden as possible, and then that will spread out to here into the world around you. Okay, let's look at circumstantial energy. 10 of Swords. Well, this feels like it's very much to do with 12th house energy, the Scorpio new moon. That's what I'm sensing. And in a way, it's a relief to see this because it's a strong indication that enough is enough and it's over and it just can't get any worse. So all you can do from here is basically get yourself reborn and start over and just check out the new horizons, okay? You know, behind every thundercloud, every hurricane, all of that stuff out there, it's still sunny, okay? You know that. This is an indication here that if you have been mistreating yourself, self-abusing, self-medicating, self-destructive behaviors, actions, or if you have allowed those energies to come at you by being a martyr in some way because you can be so heroic and then you can take on so much doo-doo from other people, but you end up, you know, turning yourself into a pincushion for everyone else. That's not healthy. All right, let's keep going. What about the core heart energy here? Let's have a look. So with the Eight of Pentacles here, my feeling is that it's almost like, to me, this feels kind of joyful. Like your heart is actually pumping, healthy, happy, and working for you, hard at work for you, Sagittarius, knowing that good things are coming. I think deep down at a core subliminal soul level, your heart knows and senses this, and it's almost like the heart is preparing, doing all the work, all the groundwork now here in November for when things start to really light up for you, when everything turns into that big surge of Sagittarian energy towards the end of the month, okay? So this is like, you know, doing the work. And to me, it feels joyful. Knowing that you're going to be coming out of some very shadowy, difficult energies and heading into your own territory. It's just like a homecoming type of energy. That's what I feel here. Very much worth the work, worth the investment, worth the time, worth the focus and all the intention that goes with it. And let's just hope that you're aware of that, okay, Sagittarius? It's almost like investing in yourself here. All right, what are you bringing in with you? Okay, Ten of Cups, such a beautiful card in its own right. So bring it in with you. Maybe you've done a lot of work already. Maybe you're already sensing that it's almost like pretend you're here and you're actually hanging out, you and me. Like there's Sagittarius, here's Tarot Illumination. We're literally here at the office, at the stage. When you're coming in, Tarot Illumination says, what do you got in your pockets, man? What you got going on? And you say, listen, have a look at this, Theo. Look what I got. Look at this. Look how lucky I am. Look how lucky I'm going to be. Look what's going to happen to me. Ha, ha, ha. I got it all. I got the love. I got the love. I am a carrier, okay? Now, I don't know if you're feeling that to this kind of extent, Sagittarius, but you might be getting a glimpse of this, and you might already know that this is yours by right, and you're starting to feel this coming your way. Even though this is legacy energy from the past, it looks to me that you've been doing a lot of work on yourself and knowing that you've had to, because it's a 12-year journey. The last time Jupiter was in Sagittarius, okay, the last time this happened for you was 12 years ago. It's a 12-year cycle, almost exactly, okay? So think back in your brain. What were things like for you roughly 12 years ago today? Just, it's worth it. It's worth just thinking back. Do a little bit of historical archaeology. All right, let's keep going. What about the now? Okay. So as delicious as this all looks, let's get real here. Let's accept the reality is that just like everyone else, you've been having bumpy times, okay? And you've come through it and you've done the work, you're investing it, you know things are going to be okay. But looking forward, as awesome as it is to have Jupiter landing in your home turf and to have the sun there, it could be almost blinding, overwhelming to the point where it's scary. You know, if you haven't been in this position for 12 years and this essentially pattern of deep, deep good fortune, almost like fated good fortune is coming your way, it could almost feel like it's let's just call it a tidal wave of good energy coming to you. But the thing that it is a bit of a tidal wave, the tidal that energy itself could be be a little intimidating to the point like, whoa, like if you haven't planned for this or you're not fully aware of what we're talking about here, and all this sounds like Tarot Illumination is being way too optimistic. I've had a really difficult time as a Sag, but this is what Tarot Illumination is sensing now. And we're not discounting the challenges that you've had, but you've lived through all this. I think it's a 12-year cycle coming to an end. It's the end of all the bad stuff, and you start all over. But you might have forgotten how challenging it's been for so long, and the chance to start all over from scratch again with a brand new beginning in all this, it's awesome. But it might be, if you're not used to it because it's been so rough for so long, then that could be really intimidating, almost feeling like you're being threatened. Okay, so it's understandable. You will prevail, of course, but it might make you feel as though, wait a minute, what is this new journey that I'm supposed to be heading on? Wait a minute, TL, what are you talking about? I have no idea what this means. It's just, this is insane. It can't be this good. Nobody has stuff this good. And then TL says, well, it's there if you want it. So it's really important to like get yourself on path and get aligned, even knowing that you might get spooked by the feelings that are coming your way. So in your power, let's just say at the soul level, you know this is very good for you. However, in day-to-day waking life, let's just say, frankly, I am wetting my pants and I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure exactly what to do or how to do this. It's been 12 years. I didn't even know about Terra Lumination until a few months ago. Oh no, oh no, oh no. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I handle this? Well, you're at a good place. You're at Terra Illumination. Become a member. Okay, let's have a look. What about the healing power of now with your decisions? So yeah, when you're going forward, you have to make decisions. You're always putting things at risk. So what does that look like? Okay. So with the Five of Cups here, my feeling is to, like, when you're making decisions, please allow yourself to be scared. Please allow yourself to be sad. Please allow yourself to grieve over anything and everything that may have been lost or felt like failure or disaster or unrepairable suffering that you've endured for the last 12 years. Okay? Just let that be. Allow that to happen. Allow the grief to flow. And don't let it obscure the good stuff. If you could say this is all about the sorrows and grievings of the past that can never be recovered, those days, those years are gone. They're history. And maybe there is sorrow of losses there. But you're working your way out of it. And let's just say the two little cups here are there. Okay? Let's just link this with this. And let's just say here at Terra Illumination that don't worry, Sag. Just please remember and understand when you're making your decisions, all is not lost. You're starting from scratch again with a whole new major upgrade coming your way, whether you like it or know it or not, whether you're scared of it or you're saying, bring it on. It doesn't matter. It's happening. And so the love is there when you're ready. But please don't force this. Allow yourself to feel the changes. Like if you have kind of a breakdown, for example, over the next few weeks, as you shift and move from this chapter of life into this chapter of life, as you do the action rewinds and replays of what happened to you over the last 7 years in your love life, whatever, just let it flow. If there's any form of grief or sadness there, sense of losses, let it flow. And that's the most loving thing you can do for yourself. So how do you do that? It's very, very tough if you're a very confident, buoyant, courageous Sagittarian to admit that you're hurting and that you're scared. Okay, it does not come naturally to Sag. All right. So how do we do this? How do you let the love flow? Allow the sorrow to flow, allow the joy to flow, and don't treat it as anything to be ashamed of. Okay, you go with it. Instead, what you do is you wear it like a badge. You say, you know what? I'm a Sag, and even a Sag like me, I feel things just like the rest of you, okay? I have my moments of grief and sorrow and sadness. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to cry. I'm not ashamed to be less than what others might think of me. I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm very proud of who I am, what I've got. I wear my heart openly. It's almost like you can walk forward without a shield, without armor, and say, watch me, look at this. I am brave, courageous, and bold. I've had my pain and suffering and sorrows. I know that joy lies awaiting ahead for me, and I'm going to freaking go for it. And I'm going to prove it. I'm going to live by example. Thank you very much. Excuse me, get out of my way. That kind of energy. even if you're having to use a lot of tissues. All right, so what does this generate over here? Okay, to me, this is like spiritual advancement, which is a perfect match for Jupiter in Sagittarius. Upgrades all round, because Jupiter is that planet that rules the ninth house of expansion, spiritual expansion and growth, higher learning, higher knowledge, the ascending soul, always, always seeking more higher knowledge and wisdom. You know, the traveler, the wise one, the wizard, and it's all happening. So what happens is, to me, it looks like it's like you're realizing, my gosh, it really is true. It is the start of a whole new journey, a whole new chapter in my life. Another 12-year cycle is beginning right now. So let's get it right. Let's ceremonially, very tragically leave behind anything and everything that's not working, the pain and the sorrows and the history and the drama. Bye bye. Grab only what works. Get your backpack, your primary tools, whatever they might be, the most important essential elements, and your selected loved ones, whoever they may be, and go forth with new wisdom, new knowledge, new power, new concepts, new understandings, everything upgraded to basically a higher standard of living in terms from the spiritual perspective. You've done all the work. You've lived through all the pain and sorrow. The goodness is yours by right coming to you. It's okay to grieve at the losses of a 12-year journey, and it's beautiful and joyful to celebrate the goodness coming forward. So what happens if we mess up and you just wallow in misery and you continue to martyr yourself or allow the pain to overwhelm you, or you just go into denial, or you self-medicate your way out of it or something? To me, it feels like you lose all your power. You lose all self-respect, you lose all dignity, and in so doing, everyone else loses respect for you and dishonors you and basically starts looking the other way. Like it's almost like you're not in the room anymore. Like where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Why don't people see me, notice me? However, when you live from the heart authentically, having done the work, invested in yourself, there's nothing to be ashamed of in the grief and the sorrows of life, or the tears that have been shed or that have to be shed. And that's a very honorable, noble thing to be. It's a very, very good thing to be a human being in all your frailties and all your power simultaneously. That commands a lot of respect from others. You know, someone who's truly human. Okay? At this level, no apologies. Absolute dedication to love of self. No apologies. Okay? So we generate prospects with this. Okay? The truth seeker becomes the truth seeker. If you have ever been feeling like you're a student, you are now the master. Okay? After a 12-year arduous journey, the student becomes the teacher. That's kind of what's happening here. You become the one to whom everyone else turns because you've been through it all. Okay? You are now the wise one. Thank you so much. I don't really want to spoil this by saying anything more. Sometimes I get so carried away with the readings, I just like to leave it as it is. Okay? You can reinterpret however you want. The pulse goes this way. Okay? So you're creating this aura here from the core, good, solid, tangible tokens of love is as love does. Ultimately, to love thyself and regenerate yourself. Become the new upgraded Sagittarius. Fuller, greater, more magnificent, more wise, more powerful, more courageous, more in charge, more self-respect, okay? You can still be a human. You can still have every fear on the planet. And I guarantee you will get injured again and all sorts of pain and sufferings will happen in your life. But you've got this, okay? You know what this means now. It's not the end of the world. It's just that it has meaning and purpose, okay? This was not futile. This was part of your indoctrination, part of the journey, and this is over now. You're starting all over again with a fabulous new beginning. So make the best of it, all right, Sagittarius? Please understand the value of time. Bye-bye. Thank you for choosing Tarot Lumination. Bye-bye.